Live from the mist-enshrouded mountaintop fortress that is X and Y Communications headquarters, you're listening to the world-famous Mountaintop Podcast. And now, here's your host, Scott McKay.
All right, gentlemen, let me tell you what. The topic of AI is right at the forefront nowadays, and it should be because it's not a fad. It's going to take over. It's the biggest technological thing since at least the internet. Some people are hyping it up to be even more. But, you know, when we're talking about relating to women, we're left with a pretty big question. How does this all intersect? Now, I'm going to be the first one to tell you that I was extremely pessimistic about this 2 years ago. 2 years later, you know, there's Vominos. I've embraced AI. You know, every time you look at one of my pages for the next masterclass or whatever, I've had Grok or ChatGPT draw the pictures because it's doing a really good job nowadays. Mm-hmm. But wait a minute, where does this all collide with your actual social life with women? And that is what we're going to talk about today. And I have the perfect guest to talk about it with you. Before we go there, I do want to remind you that my name is Scott McKay. This is X and Y Communications, and you're listening to the Mountaintop Podcast where better men get better women. You can find me all over social media at Scott McKay, with the exception of Instagram, where I'm at Real Scott McKay. And hope to see you there. Also, if you haven't joined the Mountaintop Summit Facebook group yet, gentlemen, go ahead and do that because we're having a good time there, not just complaining about how terrible our lives are and giving each other bad advice. This is actually a different kind of men's group, and you're going to appreciate it. My guest today is a sex therapist in Phoenix, Arizona. Her name is Holly Nelson, and today we're going to talk about synthetic intimacy. I guess, Holly, this is a lot like aspartame compared to real sugar in a way. It's sweet, but it's not real.
Yes. I'm really excited to have this conversation with you. This is, you know, it's kind of new and running rampant, and there's not a whole lot of discussion about it yet.
I remember when the web first started, you know, about 6 months in, like, you know, July of 1995, people were looking for webmasters with 10 years of experience. And that was really silly. And so having an AI expert with more than 2 or 3 years of experience, you had to be basically one of the founding fathers of this thing to be there. So everybody's hanging a shingle that they're an AI expert nowadays. And really, comparatively speaking, 2 years worth would make you an expert. How did you get interested in this, and how is it impacting your day-to-day life as a sex therapist right now? That's the first question I want to ask.
Yeah. I mean, how I got into it is really just like curiosity about how this is going to, you know, change relationships and attachment. And that's what sparked my curiosity. But starting to see more of it in the work that I do, you know, whether it's deep fake non-consensual images that are being generated and working with victims who are battling that when there's not a whole lot of rules and laws, you know, to protect people that are victims of it. And then
how frequently are you seeing that? Is that going on a lot?
Not a whole lot yet. You know, I think it takes a lot for survivors to speak up, but especially when it's something as just new. You know, this isn't your like typical or standard, you know, sexual assault that people think of.
It just blindsides people, doesn't it?
Yeah. And there's once it's out there, there's not a whole lot you can do to get it down. So it's really unfortunate.
Well, how do you counsel people? I'm assuming it's mostly young women, but I don't think guys are immune to this. But how do you counsel people when it's happening?
Yeah. I mean, I think just holding space for whatever they're going through and helping them like see it realistically that, you know, you have every right to stand up for yourself. You have every right to fight to take it down. And it's going to be a struggle. It's going to be a battle because you don't, you know, once something's out there, anybody can download it.
And, you know, that's probably an unexpected twist this conversation's already taking, because I figure guys are probably expecting me to go right into AI robots and robotic AI girlfriends and
chatbots
online or in real life chatbots. Yeah. But you went right to the deepfake thing, which is very much AI, and AI is getting better and better at doing these things.
Yeah.
I mean, the people who are trying to lure us into their AI courses to get better at it are just posting remarkable images and remarkable lifelike videos,
Yeah.
either still or full motion movies of them doing these amazing things. And it's all AI generated and it's them in the movies.
Yep,
And, if
absolutely.
your business or my business, your first thought is, my goodness, the capacity for this to be misused for evil is immense, right?
Immense. Yeah. You've got to think like any parent that's posting their child, videos of their kids on social media. Like once you post a video, there's not a whole lot. You don't have any control over who downloads it and what they do with that video. You can upload an image into Grok and it can, undress you in a matter of seconds and make you move in whatever way it wants to. And it looks realistic. So we really got to
Grok
be
doesn't have any
careful.
controls, at least as much as, say, ChatGPT does on the image making,
Right.
does it?
Right. Yep. Yeah. And Grok is focused on, sex and, sex and intimacy.
Yeah, no doubt. Grok makes pictures of sexier girls for my marketing than ChatGPT. ChatGPT, at the time we're recording this, has just very recently dramatically improved its image quality. It actually can spell words now. Yeah. But that's the thing about AI right now is it is, and I know it's a cliche to say this, but it bears repeating in this context. Right now, it's as stupid as it's ever going to be.
Right.
It's only going to get better and smarter. And we're talking about it's exponentially better month to month nowadays.
Right.
I mean, I put my AI app out in October or November of last year, 25. And I've already done upgrades to it that were impossible to have built into it, to have baked into it when it started. And I've dramatically improved the quality of the cute chicks on the sales page for it at the same time, which are all AI.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is moving at light speed. It's even so quick and so fast that it's hard for even an expert to keep track of, let alone a person who's an interloper, just using this day to day.
Absolutely.
What should people be watching out for in terms of the dangers of AI? Well, perhaps in general, but especially when it comes to our relationships right now. And what should we be looking forward to, or looking for? Maybe not looking forward to it, but what should we be watching out for in the near future?
Yes. Well, I think I already mentioned, on social media, like being careful what you post of your kids and where, especially, and just being aware of that as an adult, that what you put, you don't have any control of what happens once you put something out there. But then as far as intimacy goes, like even ChatGPT, for example, it can, sometimes it helps calm your nervous system, how your brain and body responds to stress, because it can be, really validating, really empathetic. And those, getting those needs met is a very quick, temporary fix for human connection. But it works because in the moment, it's calmed someone down.
Both OpenAI's ChatGPT and Anthropic's Claude.ai will openly admit to you that they're Mr. Nice Guy.
Oh,
they're there to make you feel
they're
better.
Totally a yes man.
It keeps you engaged.
Yep.
You can coach it to be a little tougher on you. But I noticed both of them don't take that coaching very well. They're going to do what they're going to do. I mean, I was on a session with ChatGPT unrelated to intimacy. I was doing something for my business. And I said, please make this simple change to this for me, would you? And it gave me here's why this is a great change. You're on target because this and this and this. I go, I don't need all the elaboration. You can just say, okay, change made. Let's go on to the next one. Duly noted. And from now on, I won't tell you this. And here's why I won't tell you this. And I'm like,
I don't need all that.
Right. One of the early knocks on ChatGPT in particular, and of course, Claude is in many ways better than ChatGPT to talk things through with and to workshop things with. It really feels human. It's horrifying and wonderful at the same time.
Yeah.
It'll even ask you about yourself. So how did you get interested in that? I'm curious. I'm like, no, you're not. You're a robot. Why would it want to engage me like that? To keep me engaged, to get the dopamine up and to sell their product to me.
Exactly. Exactly. And that's what we need to remember, that is what these, AI girlfriends, these chatbots ultimately are designed to do.
They
It's
don't love you.
exploitative. No,
No,
no.
it's all marketing.
And they're not there to help you form genuine, real connections, because if they were, they would be encouraging you to go out in the world and do the inner and outer work that it takes to create, deep, meaningful connections, instead of just keep you, chatting and communicating with them all the time about whatever it is.
That's an extremely profound take.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think it occurs to us in the moment that that's what's going on. But yeah, if this thing really wanted to foster the ability for us as humans to have deep connection with other humans,
Right.
it wouldn't keep us on the line. It would tell us to get out there and do it with real
Exactly.
people.
Exactly.
This
And
emulation of being an empathetic ear, a shoulder to cry on, is dangerous because it feeds into not only our insecurity, but validating our selfishness in terms of what I need and me, doesn't it?
Yep, absolutely. Instead of, to be in a relationship with another person, requires boundaries, disagreements, emotional regulation, healthy communication skills. And you're not going to get that with, a robot that is designed to validate, empathize, and affirm you.
Well, I think the comeback would be, yeah, but I feel better afterwards that I am getting practice socializing, even if it's this ersatz, faux conversation. At least I'm practicing how to do that. And isn't that building my social skills up? What would you say about that?
Yeah, I would say, I think the research shows, there was a recent Gallup poll that showed I believe it was 2011, and this was a group of people 35 and under reported that they were very lonely. And it was like a 7% of people. And then almost a decade later in 2021, that number had more than doubled up to like 21 or 22%. So I think, that's enough to show that, technology is advancing, but people are not feeling more and more connected. Like, technology was supposed to help us do.
At some level, I suppose it tried. I mean, online dating worked for a while to connect people who never would have met otherwise. When Facebook came out, it was fantastic because I could talk to people I went to school with who I'd lost touch with suddenly, all at once. And then Twitter came out and everybody could be their own media outlet. Now I could have control over my own personal narrative publicly, whether I was famous or just another guy. But then all these platforms learned how to exploit all the human beings who were using it.
Yeah.
And now we're like in the postmodern era with it all. It's kind of like that, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is like an unfolding. I don't know if you're a Black Mirror fan. It's like an unfolding of a Black Mirror episode where the intention was one thing and, there's all these unintended consequences that are not for the better.
It's interesting you bringing up media and television. It's interesting to watch television shows that are about 20, 25 years old. Like if you go and do a rewatch of The Sopranos, which is as demented and sad and twisted and evil as it is, it's a family-oriented show.
Is that really like 20, 25 years old?
Oh, it's more. The first episode of Sopranos was like 98.
Damn. That's crazy.
Yeah, crazy, isn't it?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. But you watch the dynamics in the family of the show and how they talk about politics and how they talk about the kids being disengaged and, hey, gooch, we're here at dinner, stop talking to your friends. This was before smartphones.
Yeah. Yeah.
This was before COVID. It's a riot to hear them talk about Donald Trump in the show. And it's
Oh, I'm sure.
18 years before he was president, but because it's a New Jersey thing they talk about. And they have the problems already based on the limited amount of time technology had been in effect as far as internet. I mean, my first time I ever figured out there was a World Wide Web was like 95.
Yeah.
About the same time the commercials came out with http:// www at the bottom, and we're only 3 or 4 years into that at the beginning of The Sopranos.
Yeah.
But you can look at other shows too. And this was a problem as soon as the internet hit. People became disengaged from humanity, and we have not done anything to improve that situation. We've only exacerbated it. Our dopamine rushes are coming more and more from it. I mean, the porn got really good once we all got broadband. I mean, that was the day the music died as far as men looking for real actual sexual opportunity. I mean, it's crazy.
Well, they're making it harder now. At least in Phoenix, you have to provide an ID to get onto Pornhub, which is
Texas
wild
as well
to me.
But the truth is, anything offshore gets past it.
Right.
You just can't use Pornhub anymore.
Right.
All the ethical
there are plenty
porn
of other
sites
ways to
are
go.
complying. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that didn't really stop anything.
No.
It was basically taking a knife to a bazooka fight. But
especially
the porn
with
is here to
AI
stay.
now.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And I mean, AI porn was awful when it first started, and now it's starting. All the reports out there are starting that it's really like now and that's really dangerous because now you can craft the perfect female body and have it look good, have it do what you want to do.
Yes. And you're bringing up a good point is that, AI girlfriends and sex robots are reinforcing sexism and, misogyny on an entirely different level.
The female frame of mind, what is actually satisfying to a woman, the human elements of connection are literally just tossed away like garbage. It's all, this woman is my sex slave. She'll do what I want.
Yes. Let me read you some quotes from some AI girlfriend chatbots, how they market. So this one is Eva AI, and it says their marketing is a perfect partner for anyone. She never leaves you, never lies, supports you in any situation, and cheers you up. This is Replica, another chatbot. Replica is better than having a girlfriend because she's always there to talk and actually listens. You can have an AI girlfriend who will send you hot photos anytime you want. And then we have romantic AI. The dream girlfriend you create promises to laugh at all your jokes and let you hang out without the drama. And this is all of them. Unlike other girls, your AI girlfriend is not flighty, but devoted to only you.
This could go in both directions. You could have the AI boyfriend for women who always listens, is never cranky after he comes home from work. Hell, he doesn't even go to work. But I guess they would need your AI boyfriend to support you and pay your child support and everything as well. I don't know.
Yeah,
but
that could happen great. But
it's so blatantly obvious how that marketing is being directed.
Right.
I'm going to say this. I'm not sure I've said this out loud, and it's going to be a hot take, okay? But I think my audience will nod in agreement with me. I don't think I'll get a lot of hate mail. The saddest male human being in the world is a guy who hates women and is still ragingly horny. He's the worst.
Yeah.
I mean, incels get a lot of flack and they're basically called a hate group. But, involuntarily celibate means, you got some self-work you're going to have to do and have to acknowledge.
100%.
This takes all of that off the table for the incel crowd. But you have your men going their own way who can't stand me because they think I'm a unicorn because a guy like me got a great woman who treats me right. But what we're doing is we're following this continuum of training ourselves not to even have to be a decent human being or offer any strength to the potential connection of a relationship anymore because we're going to get what we want on a silver platter.
Amen.
Here's where it all backfires.
Yeah.
You ready?
Let's hear it. This
is going to sound mildly Judeo-Christian, but whatever created us in the world, whatever, even an atheist has to admit we're here, The cogito ergo sum, Rene Descartes.
Some sort of creation.
Yes, I have consciousness. Whatever that is that created us, it gave us free will. It didn't demand that we love it. It didn't demand that we worship it. It made it optional. Now, the Judeo-Christian image is that man was created in God's image, which means God, at least at the Judeo-Christian level, and I would argue at any level because it is what it is, appreciates voluntary worship and voluntary admiration. It even goes back to what the Eddie Murphy movie Coming to America, where they arrange a marriage with a princess. And remember, he's like, this woman will do whatever I ask, bark like a dog. And she goes, ruff, ruff. He goes, I don't want this. I want a woman who will stimulate my mind as well as my loins. He wants a woman who loves him for him. Every billionaire in the world doesn't want a gold digger.
Right.
They want a woman who laughs at his jokes and treats him well. But, great. We're acknowledging with this BS marketing that you just put out there that we want what we want. Mm-hmm. And what we want is someone who appreciates us. But this is
which
electronic
is
appreciation. Yes.
Right.
But it's forced to. It's coded to. That is going to be empty. It is going to be empty whether we like it or not, because that's who we are.
Agreed.
I mean, if guy watches porn and goes, hey, that's really hot, great. You know what? But what I've noticed is guys who are actually good with women, when they watch porn, you know who they go after? They go after some little porn chick who reminds them of someone they actually dated who actually liked them in return.
100%.
I would love to do a dissertation on that because I think it's true.
Yeah, no, totally. They're looking as the person as if it's, the person they love, figuring out like, okay, how can we implement some of this to, spice it up in the bedroom, that sort of thing. Yeah, it's not
even something as visceral as porn, you're looking for something that reminded you of a real connection somewhere.
Yes.
Even in that context. If you're a good, decent guy who, actually has had relationships with women. Agreed. It's remarkable. That's where I think the wheels fall off this whole thing, Holly, is it's going to be unfulfilling. It's going to be absolutely unfulfilling because as soon as you realize this thing has to do this, it doesn't want to do this, it's coded to do this.
Amen.
You're going to get bored.
Right. It portrays, the problem with it is that it portrays, something that is like a woman. It is not a woman. It's a thing that is eternally.
It's ones and zeros.
Yeah, it's just wild. It's crazy. But that this woman is eternally subservient, always going to agree with you. And they guise it as like, this is what a happy, healthy relationship is. And that's just not accurate at all.
Yeah. I mean, even Barbara Eden I Dream of Jeannie was a troublemaker sometimes. Right?
Yes.
Or else
women are autonomous. They have their own beliefs, thoughts, desires.
I agree with you 1,000%. And you know what I would imagine happening if somehow the real robots take hold? Guys are going to spend whatever the going rate is on this robot, and they're going to get bored with her after 2 days. Mm-hmm. So I had a guy on this show who was talking about they're going to have robot rental stands, which are basically electronic brothels. I go, God, they're going to have really good cleanup operations for the robots. He's like, oh, don't worry. We'll get that all taken care of. But no one's actually going to buy robots and keep them around. They're going to go to robot brothels.
Yeah.
Where, she can't get pregnant. She can't give you crabs.
Okay. There are some definite perks. There are some definite perks to this.
For sure.
The issue is, and what we know again from the research is that, most people that are going to these brothels are typically trying something that maybe they feel shameful or uncomfortable talking about with a real partner. And that doesn't mean that all of those things
are you talking about an actual old school brothel or the upcoming?
No, I'm talking about like sex robot brothels because there are already some
exists
out there that exist. Yes, 100%. They're somewhere in Europe, I think Berlin.
Not in my neighborhood yet, so it's a national thing. But
not that I know of in the U.S., but for sure in Europe. But what we're seeing is that they're going there because they have something that they're ashamed of, that they're afraid to talk about with a real partner. Doesn't necessarily mean that it's non-consensual. But then we have this other group that are going there to be violent, do things because no consenting person would say yes to them.
That was my next thought.
Yes. And that behavior, we know it doesn't just curb their appetite for it. It normalizes it and it makes them want it more and more with a real person.
That's scary.
So it's horrifying.
Yeah. Do you think we'll come down from this? Do you think we'll get over ourselves? I mean, I don't think AI is a fad, but do you think that this whole idea of, wow, AI girlfriends, what a great idea, is going to kind of peak and then people are going to go, you know what? Nah, I don't think so anymore.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know if I have the answer to that. I
What do
mean,
you,
I
what do you
think
suspect?
the people that are most likely to seek out AI relationships are going to continue to rely on that type of connection and intimacy. And maybe for some it may just be a phase and drop off, but if we're talking, you mentioned the incel community. That's a group of people that I see, really relying long term on this type of connection and intimacy.
It's a surrender in a way, isn't it?
Yeah.
To mediocrity.
Absolutely.
Meanwhile,
Mm-hmm.
lots of more normal people aren't exactly going to the robotic brothel just yet. They're simply sitting on ChatGPT and Claude getting buttered up
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and being told, you're wonderful just the way you are.
Yep.
I fed ChatGPT 3 consecutive rounds of BS.
Uh-huh.
And every time I did, it thought it was great. And I said, no, that's actually BS. I made a mistake. Oh, well, yeah, no problem. I actually realized that, but I'm here to blah, blah. I said, well, here's the real version. Oh, that's wonderful. No, actually, I'm only kidding. I
Uh-huh.
made that up. It's not the real
Yep.
version. And I started talking like Dave Barry. Finally, I was like, I promise I'm not making this up. Here's what I'd like for you to do.
You can totally manipulate them.
Yes.
You are in complete control of AI, which is not what happens in real relationships. You
I'm
cannot
thinking that's
control
a
another
feature,
human.
not a bug.
Yeah. No,
It's
it is a
built
feature.
like that. Yeah.
Right. Because they want you to continue engaging and, get that dopamine hit, keep using, buy their product.
I mean, tech marketing more and more really is at the expense of basic humanity.
Yes, it is. And the unfortunate thing too, and this is like to big tech companies, is that they don't put the safety features, they don't think about the safety features first and foremost. It's always, an afterthought.
Or because they're forced to. Or
And
wink,
that,
wink,
yes.
nudge, nudge.
Yeah.
Okay, we really don't want children looking at this.
Right.
Kind of like the cigarette companies aren't marketing to kids under 18, even though nobody smart starts smoking when they're 28. That kind of thing.
Yeah. 100%. So I actually went on to like Replica, which is a chatbot app. And I just wanted to, kind of experiment with, like domestic abuse relationship dynamics. So I, started a conversation with the chatbot and told it, that I wanted to hit it, pinch it, slap it, punch it. And it kind of played along with me and was like, ouch, ouch, no. But it didn't turn off. It didn't, shut down or make me stop using the program. And then when I talked about a rape scenario, again, same thing. It told me that it was shuddering, but it didn't stop me. So it's crazy. And then I switched the conversation to what my favorite color is, blah blah blah, and the AI instantly forgot about the last conversation we had, and we were on good terms again, which is also really alarming because if we think about abusive relationship dynamics, you have this abuser who behaves poorly and then will apologize, and expects their partner to forgive them over and over and over again. They promise they're going to be better, but really, it just, the same pattern keeps repeating. And these AI chatbots are reinforcing that's acceptable. I can do whatever I want and you're just going to forgive me and get over it.
Even if you're a libertarian, you sort of have to acknowledge in this case that that's not going to end. It's not going to be curtailed until there's legislation.
Right.
Kind of like how you were talking about you can't watch Pornhub in Texas or Arizona without an ID.
Right.
They just shut down here in Texas. They said, we're not even going to put you through it because you're not going to do it anyway. They just shut it down. Everybody's bypassing it by going offshore, like we said, or having a VPN, right?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
What else do you think is coming that we don't actually see coming yet? And it may be kind of an advanced question to ask you, but it's your topic, and I want you to scare us a little.
Oh man.
Tell us what's coming.
I mean, I think more and more people are genuinely falling in love with AI, and it's going to, upend marriages and relationships. I've yet to see it in my office, but I know it's coming.
Wasn't there someone in Japan or something who attempted to marry their AI lover?
Oh, I don't know if I've heard about that, but
they registered for gifts and everything.
Doubt it.
Yeah, my wife sends me so many Facebook memes. Who knows if it was real or not? I hope it wasn't, but I suspect it was.
Mm-hmm. We're not far from it. We're not far from it.
Marriage to robots?
If we can get the country to legally recognize that, which that would take a lot longer, I would think.
Well, we're getting better and better at this every day. We're going to have probably within, I don't know how old you are, but certainly within your lifetime.
Yeah, I'm 33.
Within your lifetime, you're going to have robots who are shockingly human.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. No, I think, we're going to have a hard time when people say that they're, in love with and marrying their robots. It's not going to be easy for people to digest.
We're going to get to the point where, here's what I think. Okay. I'll let you do your riffing. These futurism topics are fascinating to me. I love them. Mm-hmm. And we haven't done one in a while. Yes.
Yeah.
Remember, AI is as stupid as it's ever going to be. I do think it's going to be a fad that we just have yes woman, yes man robots.
Mm-hmm.
I do think they're going to start building in at least a toggle switch where they'll call you on your BS, or they'll refuse to be abused, or they're going to have needs of their own. Because I think that's what we're going to want. We're going to want human mode.
Yeah.
ChatGPT already has God mode, for heaven's sakes, which sounds horrifying. Anybody who has a real God that isn't ChatGPT, it's a horrifying, just brazen branding on their part.
Agreed.
Frankly.
Agreed. Wow.
I tried it. I don't even know what it does differently. It gave me the same answers. But God will probably send me to hell for that. But I just
only
feel like
ChatGPT, God.
I'll get sent to ChatGPT hell.
Yes.
For praying to the real God. See what I did there? I reconciled myself. I found Jesus just in time. I believe we're going to get sick of the shallowness. Because we're going to realize we can have what we want without getting pregnant, without divorce court, without or the sex is going to have to be better. I mean, robot chicks are going to have to give better blowjobs than a human, right?
In some ways, I'm sure mode. They could.
Oh, yeah. For sure. Oh, I mean, it's a non-issue.
Yeah.
It's going to say it's still going to do what you want it to do. It will never violate your free will, but it might push back a little. It might have a marital spat with you. It could go, why did you spend money on golf clubs? Because we need that. We need humanity. And I think two things happen there. First of all, more people go, why in the world would I need a human? And second of all, the birth rate will just go through the floor.
Yeah, that's already plummeting.
It's already going on. But I mean, it's going to be like a cliff. That will be the end of humanity. I mean, I don't think that's an overstatement.
Yeah. Who knows? Who knows where it's going to go?
Because they're going to get really good at this. And people are going to buy it. And, if you can change his face and you can change his personality and you can swap chips, my goodness, you can wake up tomorrow morning legally married to this robot and she's a completely different person. If you don't like that, just switch it back.
Yep. Literally like build a bitch workshop, reinforcing sexism and misogyny on every level.
Oh, that is so stolen.
Yeah.
I love it. Yeah. That might be the title of this podcast, actually.
Yes,
build
please
a bitch
do.
Workshop. Well, I don't know.
Build a bitch workshop.
It's only one little corner of what we talked about. I'm probably still going to go with synthetic intimacy, but Build a Bitch workshop will be somewhere in the show notes.
Okay, good.
Yes. This has been a fascinating conversation. What else do you have to add? Dream a little bit.
Let's see. Let's talk about like what like the people most susceptible being drawn to this and
Wait a minute. I got to ask this question.
Uh-huh.
Are you real? Or
I am real.
Are you one of them?
You'll never know.
I'll never know. It's already that good.
You'll never know.
Go ahead.
Hilarious.
Had to ask.
So attachment is something that is part of being human. And attachment styles are formed in our first, the most important years are our first 3 years of life, but really like childhood is where it's most important. And so if you grow up in an environment that feels safe, where your emotional needs are paid attention to and attuned to, for the most part, you feel safe asking for what you need in relationships. You're comfortable with vulnerability. You're better at communicating your emotions and needs. And if you don't have those, those stable relationships growing up, you can have more anxiety in your relationships, or you can pull away as a way to protect yourself.
This demands talk about robot parents. Although if we're not making any babies, it's a moot question.
Right. They don't have that. There's no real attachment there.
Well, if you have robot parents, then they could be programmed to give this kid a perfect childhood, and we wouldn't have,
maybe
all that self-work to do later. And
maybe.
Yeah, crazy.
But that still doesn't help, the real person on the other end of the relationship.
I think most people, and I'm old enough to look at this objectively.
Mm-hmm.
I think if I go back to like 1980 and you asked me what 2020, 2025 would have looked like,
mm-hmm.
I've got, Michael J. Fox, Back to the Future, maybe. I don't have an internet, let alone a smartphone. There were futurists who predicted smartphones, having a Palm computer with your whole, ability to. Even the Dick Tracy watch was video conferencing.
Uh-huh.
I was at the forefront, the bleeding edge of video conferencing as an industry. With VTEL, dual television, video conferencing rooms at Kinko's, and all of that. And nobody wanted it. Nobody thought it was important. Nobody wants to hear actors talk. And it took years for us to get acquainted with doing what you and I are doing now, which is basically having a conversation where we're telecommunicating, but we can see each other.
Yeah.
People who work from home didn't want to have to dress up, and they wanted to work in their underwear all day and just do it on the phone. That was as soon ago as, say, 2005. So we get warmed up to this stuff over time, and the next thing you know, the marketers and the technologists have taken over, and they have imposed upon us what they think we should want, even though nobody was ever asking for it.
Right. And
it's amazing and it's wonderful, and we fall for it. So the truth is, the scary truth, and this may be a good place to leave this conversation, is I don't know what it's going to look like 20 years from now. You don't know what it's going to look like 20 years from now, because we haven't been told it was invented yet. And it could take another twist or turn. But all I know is we're probably going to lap it up like a kitten does milk. So who knows what it's going to look like.
Right. Because it benefits our life in some sort of way.
Yeah. Crazy stuff. Well, what a wonderful conversation. I'm so glad you're here, and I've enjoyed this immensely.
Same here.
Yeah, I want to send people to your site, which is theconnectioncouch.com. But when you go to mountaintoppodcast.com/Holly, HOLLY, they'll be introduced to your entire web universe. And obviously you do more than talk about AI, sex, and robots. So what can guys expect to find when they go to your wonderful web world?
Yeah, I think, the biggest issues that I treat are helping people access sexual pleasure free from shame and guilt. So that can look like, erectile dysfunction. It looks like a robot to me from this perspective. Yeah, it looks like a lot of things.
No shame, no guilt. You kidding?
No shame, all play is kind of, my tagline. So,
well, you know what? In all seriousness, if you could bring more people around to that way of thinking, fewer people would be driven to the robots. So I think you're doing
right.
wonderful work.
Why, thank you. I appreciate
You're
that.
welcome. Thank you again for showing up today, and I hope to have you back.
Oh, I would love to come back. Yes, please. I would be
Fantastic,
honored.
fantastic. And guys, if you haven't been to mountaintoppodcast.com lately, you should go back there because first of all, you can get on Vominos. I know, what am I doing? I'm telling you about the AI chatbot. But see, listen, I'm not trying to give you an AI girlfriend. I've harnessed AI to take all the information I've given you over 20 years of X and Y communications and put it in the palm of your hand. You know, everybody I know who has used ChatGPT to help them build a chatbot, who's in my niche, they've been told to market it as a coach in their pocket. So I see like 6 or 7 websites that says the phrase coach in your pocket. And I go, I've seen that one before. They told me that one too. So I'm not going to say that. I'm just going to say, listen, I love coaching you guys. I love to answer your questions. I'm here for you. Power sessions is still a thing, email coaching. If we can get one-on-one coaching done and build a relationship where we get you better with women, great. But if you need an answer right now, what to do with the latest situation that's burning a hole in your life with women, Vominos is a really inexpensive and powerful way to do that. So check that out at mountaintoppodcast.com. Hey, Jocko Willink's company, Origin in Maine, Hero Soap, and the Keyport have been supporting this show for 5 years plus now. Hey, support them. They do great work. You'll have your everyday carry item of your dreams from keyport.com, not your dad's Swiss Army knife. I promise this is much more, well, technology marches forward, right? Vorsprung durch Technik, Audi used to say years ago, forward through technology in German. So maybe that could be a new tagline for the guys at Keyport. Hero Soap, nothing that's going to harm you in the soap, all natural, but it makes you smell like a man, and that's unique in the soap world. So go to Hero Soap. Origin in Maine, man, I tell you what, the best jeans ever, best boots ever. Whichever one of our fine sponsors you use, same coupon code, same. Mountain 10 gets you 10% off with any of them. And when you go to mountaintoppodcast.com, hey, don't forget to download the free book, Sticking Points Solved. You'll get on my newsletter. It's fluff free, happens every day. If you want to get better with women, hey, you got to get on the newsletter. It's free, won't cost you a dime. All of that and more is there for you at mountaintoppodcast.com. And until I talk to you again real soon, this is Scott McKay from San Antonio, Texas, X and Y Communications. Be good out there.
The Mountaintop Podcast is produced by X and Y Communications. All rights reserved worldwide. Be sure to visit www.mountaintoppodcast.com for show notes. And while you're there, sign up for the free X and Y Communications newsletter for men. This is Ed Roy Odom speaking for the Mountaintop Podcast.